Hey everybody, what is going on? Icy Cat here, and now we have a look at the third and final operator for Operation White Noise. Let's take a look at the trailer, talk about his ability and weapons and more.
You never saw me coming. Don't feel so bad. Nobody ever sees me. I'm in everyone's blind spot.
So there you go, the final of the 3 trailers for the operators in Operation White Noise. And on the outset, it might not be readily apparent what this operator can necessarily do. We see some monitors, he puts on his mask, and then the monitors blank out. Well, what does that mean? There's not a lot of context here. But if you guys have been following my channel recently, you'll know that we uncovered a 4chan leak about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and it gave us a breakdown of what all the operators would do. And this was initially dismissed as being something that was probably unlikely. Things come out of 4chan that are not always the most reputable. However, all of the information contained in there was accurate. It predicted the name of Operation White Noise days before it was released. It predicted the name of Zofia and what her gadget's ability would be well before that was released. It also talked about how the South Korean attacker would have a gadget which would use noise to give the location of the enemy team's gadgets. That has proven to be true when we saw Dokubi's trailer come out yesterday. And now with Vigil's trailer, we have the final piece of information confirmed. So according to the 4chan leak, this operator Vigil will be able to make himself invisible from drones. And by watching the trailer, we can see that that is pretty much exactly what is going on here. That's the context that's needed to understand this trailer. You see the monitors, he puts on the mask, and then they blank out. And he talks about how nobody ever sees him coming, how he's in everybody's blind spot. So Vigil can become invisible to drones. Now he puts on the mask, and that syncs up with when the monitors fizzle out, but actually I'm not thinking that the mask really necessarily has so much to do with it, so much as the fact that on his back he appears to be wearing some kind of a jamming unit with multiple antennas there. This would almost maybe make him kind of like a mobile mute. When his gadget is turned on, he apparently will be able to jam the drones. Now, I don't know if it'll have that same signal jamming effect that Mute's jammer has, or if it'll maybe, at least from a drone camera perspective, make him seem like he has some kind of optical camouflage on by creating a blind spot glitch. We're just not really sure until we actually see the effect in play. Though I do think if that's the case, it will only be for the drones. I don't think like if a player is actually looking at him, he will be invisible. I highly doubt that that's what we're talking about here. I think this is more of just like signal jamming on the run. We've also gotten a look at what his weapons loadout is going to be. He's going to share all the same gear with Dokubi in that he's going to have the same pistol loadouts. They're both machine pistols. We went over this yesterday. He'll have the SMG-12, which was pictured in Dokubi's trailer, and the C-75 Auto. Again, both of them are automatic machine pistols. They will also share the BOSG 12.2 shotgun. The only different primary weapon between the two of them is going to be where Dokubi will have the Mark 14 EBR battle rifle. Vigil will instead have the K1A SMG. Now, I'm not real sure about actually calling this an SMG. This appears to fall more into the compact assault rifle category that Jaeger's does. The K1 is actually, it shoots rifle rounds, not submachine gun rounds. The difference being that a submachine gun will have a shorter barrel and overall length using pistol-grade ammunition, and weapons that are more of the assault rifle category would be something that would have the rifle-grade ammunition, so this would be like the 5.56 caliber that this weapon will use. So this will essentially become the second defensive operator, along with Jaeger, who actually has a shortened compact assault rifle. For further confirmation of that in the trailer, as well as the image that was released the other day, you can make out a 5.56 magazine actually exposed on his hip holster there. And we also get a little piece of interesting information when we read the operator's bio on the blog. It reads, the 7.62 by 39mm round that glanced off his ballistic mask had crumpled and exposed a honeycomb of polymers beneath the black paint, deforming the cheek plate. The absorption padding sucked down some of the punch, but the hydrostatic shock had still rung his head like a bell. The headache lingered, the bruised cheek had turned purple, but the mask itself had earned retirement on his wall. The rows of battle-damaged masks staring back at him, each one a scar and a trophy, and each one more of his face than the one that stared back at him in the mirror. So people are going to immediately ask, does this make him immune to headshots? Or does it maybe give him the ability to take like 2 headshots instead of 1? I don't really know the answer to that. This would essentially be a double stack operator ability if you could become both invisible to drones as well as soak up a headshot or not be damaged by them at all. This would be kind of like 2 different abilities in one operator. Now, I don't know if that's the way this will actually translate into a game mechanic, or if that's simply an interesting story element and it will actually just wind up being really a cosmetic item. I mean, after all, this is a game that's all about headshots. And if you introduce a character that can't take a headshot, then you're kind of messing with the game mechanics, which is why Blackbeard was so controversial. But at least his ability is isolated to that's just what it is. He doesn't have a second ability to stack on top of it. So we're going to have to wait and see whether or not that translates into something that will wind up being a feature in the game or not. Now, this weekend is, of course, the Pro League Finals in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And over the course of the finals, they will be revealing more information. So they'll be having some discussion panels and some things that we'll be expecting to see and breaking it down. Then on Sunday, we'll also have a live demonstration show match. There you'll see the new map as well as the new operators in action and what their various abilities will actually do in-game. Of course, like I said before that, we'll get that discussion panel where they'll really break down what the operators can do. They'll probably show some example footage clips of that. So over this weekend, we're really going to find out all the final details of that. Now, we don't have a firm release date for that yet. I imagine that will be revealed over this weekend, but on Monday, November 20th, Operation White Noise will be going live on the technical test server. So for those of you with access to the PC test server, you will be able to try out the new map and operators before anybody else. This is done for testing purposes to iron out any kinks that might be game-breaking. That's happened before in other seasons. We've seen it, so this is an attempt to head that off. For anybody that isn't in the test server and those on console who don't have access to the test server at all, we're going to have to find out what our release date is for the season, probably the following week. Not exactly sure of the specific date. It usually drops on a Tuesday, so we might be looking at that following Tuesday. All of those details, though, are still forthcoming. Of course, I will be letting you know all the latest information as soon as it becomes available, so make sure that you like and subscribe so you're staying up to date on all of that latest info. Also, please do click that notification icon so you're alerted as soon as that new content becomes available. You can also follow me over at IcyCat25 on either Facebook or Twitter. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.